Prologue, the Shattered Legacy. The Ironfjord banner, once a symbol of unyielding might, now hangs tattered over a long hall scarred by fire and salt. Levis Ironfjord, his red beard streaked with silver, stares at the fractured shadow steel crown resting on the altar of whalebone. The abyssal tide's whispers echo through the fjords, and the sea god Hrafnir's laughter rumbles in the depths. You broke the chains, Wolf King, the waves taunt. Now wear the crown of your folly. Levis's hands, calloused from decades of war, tighten around Stormcaller and Tidebreaker, axes dulled by time but sharpened by resolve. His sons, Bjorn and Rurik, stand divided, one haunted by the ghost of a god, the other scheming with gears and gunpowder. Lyanna, her once piercing gaze clouded by the loss of her shadow steel senses, traces the cracks in the crown. The tide rises, she murmurs. And the Syndicate has not forgotten. Chapter 1, The Crown of Salt and Shadow. The shadow steel mines beneath Ironfjord hum with a malevolent life. Workers vanish in the night, returning hollow-eyed and murmuring of a king in the deep. When Rurik discovers a vein of corrupted shadow steel, blacker than void, colder than death, Levis orders the mines sealed. But Bjorn, driven by Hrafnir's lingering voice, defies him. This metal could save us, he roars, smashing the seal. That night, the abyssal tide claws at the shore, dragging 3 drakers into the abyss. Among the lost, Arn, Levis's youngest brother, whose body washes ashore days later, changed. His skin glistens with scales, his eyes twin pools of brine. Hrafnir sends his regards, Arn rasps before dissolving into foam. Chapter 2, The Syndicate's Gambit. Karjan Zatak, Lyanna's brother, arrives under a banner of parley, his warships hidden behind a veil of storm. He offers an alliance. The Syndicate's alchemists will purge the Shadow Steel's curse, in exchange for the Tome of Awakening. You stole it, Karjan sneers. Now it will cleanse your reckoning. Levis refuses, but Rurik secretly meets with Karjan. Give us the formula to destroy the tide, he bargains, offering blueprints for a Shadow Steel engine. Karjan laughs. You'll need more than toys, boy. Bring me the god's heart. Meanwhile, Bjorn ventures into the drowned temple where Hrafnir once slept, seeking power to control the tide. What he finds is not a god's heart, but a pulse. Throbbing in the chest of a serpentine leviathan, with Arn's face. Chapter 3, The Blood of the Wolf. Lyanna, desperate to reconnect with Shadow Steel, performs a forbidden ritual, binding her soul to the Tome of Awakening. The magic works, but the tome hungers. It resurrects Thrain's corpse, now a hollow vessel for the abbot's ghost, who delivers a warning: the tide is not water. It is memory. And it remembers you, Levis. Levis leads a raid on a Syndicate outpost, seizing their alchemical weapons. In the fray, he confronts Karjan, who reveals the truth: the Syndicate serves a new master, a voice from the void, Asmer's cult, tying to Thomas's saga. Karjan dies laughing, your sons will drown this world. Chapter 4, The Engine of Annihilation. Rurik completes his Shadow Steel engine, a machine that bends the tide itself. But during the test, the abyssal tide retaliates, manifesting as a colossal wave bearing the faces of every warrior Levis ever lost. Bjorn, wielding corrupted Shadow Steel, holds the wave at bay, but his skin begins to crack, seawater bleeding from his veins. Lyanna, her soul frayed by the tome, begs Levis to stop Rurik. The engine is a key, she warns. It doesn't control the tide, it calls something older. Chapter 5, The God's Price. Hrafnir resurfaces, offering a pact: give me the boy, and I will spare your clan. Bjorn volunteers, but Levis chains him in the long hall. Enraged, Hrafnir summons the tide in full fury, flooding the mines and birthing a horde of saltborn horrors. In the chaos, Rurik activates the engine, tearing a rift in the sea. From the abyss emerges a shadow, a primordial leviathan, Hrafnir's true form, bound by chains of light. The god howls, you dare wake the jailer? Chapter 6, The Ashes of Ironfjord. The long hall burns. Flames devour centuries of Ironfjord history, tapestries of conquest, axes of fallen kings, the cradle where Levis's sons first drew breath. The Syndicate's Chimera fleet bombards the shore, their cannons firing alchemical fire that melts shadow steel like wax. Levis rallies his remaining warriors, but they are outnumbered, outgunned, and out of time. Lyanna, her voice raw from chanting wards, collapses beside Rurik's shattered engine. The tide, it's not just water. It's alive, she gasps. It's using the engine as a beacon. Levis makes a choice. He orders Rurik to overload the machine, channeling its power into the abyssal tide itself. Turn their weapon against them, he growls. The explosion tears through the Syndicate fleet, but the backlash liquefies the Ironfjord mines, drowning hundreds. Chapter 7, The Hollow Crown. With Ironfjord in ruins, Levis confronts Bjorn atop the shattered spire, a needle of rock where Hrafnir's whispers are loudest. Bjorn, now more tide than man, fights with a trident of living coral. Join me, father, he hisses, seawater bleeding from his pores. The tide is freedom. Levis refuses. Their duel is brutal, Stormcaller shattering coral, Tidebreaker drawing black blood from Bjorn's mutated flesh. In the end, Levis pins his son to the stone, but cannot strike the killing blow. Hrafnir's laughter booms through the storm. Weakness, Wolf King. This is why you fail. Chapter 8, The Pact of Salt and Stone. Lyanna, dying from the tome's corruption, devises a final gambit. She binds her soul to the shadow steel crown, becoming a vessel for the jailer's power. You judged us, she snarls at the entity. Now help us. The jailer agrees, for a price. It reshapes Lyanna into a living statue of shadow steel, her mind trapped between realms. With her new power, she repels the tide, but her frozen eyes weep black tears as she forgets Levis's name. Rurik, horrified, flees with the engine's core, a shard of pure shadow steel. I'll fix this, he vows. I'll fix her. Chapter 9, The Last Wolf's Howl. Levis stands alone in the drowned long hall, the crown fused to his skull. Hrafnir rises from the depths, his true form revealed, a colossal serpent with the faces of every Ironfjord ancestor screaming in its scales. The final battle is not fought with axes, but with words. Levis offers himself as Hrafnir's vessel, if the god spares his people. Take my rage. Take my pride. Leave them their songs. Hrafnir accepts. Levis's body disintegrates, his soul merging with the gods. The tide retreats, and the sea stills, but henceforth, every storm carries Levis's roar. Chapter 10, The Tide's Daughter. Years later, Rurik returns to the Iron Skerries with a machine that purifies shadow steel. He rebuilds Ironfjord as a fortress of gears and cold logic, erasing Lyanna's statue to forge weapons. But Bjorn, now a nomadic terror of the seas, leads the tide's remnants. When he learns Rurik has dismantled their mother's legacy, he besieges the new Ironfjord. The brothers clash, Rurik's machines versus Bjorn's tidal horrors, until Lyanna's statue moves. Her shadow steel hand crushes Rurik's engine. Enough, echoes her voice, now the jailers. This ends. The brothers flee, their war unfinished. The tide withdraws, but the Skerries are left silent, haunted by the ghost of a king who became a storm. Epilogue, The Song of Forgotten Tides. Decades later. A fisherman's daughter finds a shadow steel axe washed ashore, Stormcaller, its edge still sharp. When she touches it, Levis's voice fills her mind, the sea forgets. Kings die. But rage? Rage is forever. She leads a rebellion against Rurik's mechanized empire, her warriors clad in barnacle-covered armor. Bjorn, now a mythic terror, watches from the depths, his laughter a tidal roar. In the ruins of the old Long Hall, Lyanna's statue stirs once more. The jailer's chains rattle beneath the waves, and far south, Mathio ignites a shadow fire forge, melting a shard of Ironfjord steel. Final line. What is a king but a weapon the sea hasn't drowned yet? Carved into Stormcaller's blade by an unknown hand,